Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Magician with a Microphone podcast. Today, we are talking about the Royal Rumble. Today's Tuesday. The Royal Rumble was on Saturday. Therefore, it threw off my entire week here. I'm thinking all day that it was Wednesday. And then I realized, oh shit, I got to be at the gallery today. Oh shit, today's Tuesday. Oh shit, that's right. Royal Rumble was on Saturday now. Okay. So we're going to talk about that, because, holy fuck, what a Rumble. A lot of unexpected things happened. I actually was surprised at one point with certain occurrences with the Rumble, and I actually took the time to write everything down. I took notes. I took notes on the Rumble. I wanted to make sure that I got this right. I wanted to make sure that I was actually, on track, that I knew what I was talking about. So I took notes, and if my phone would let me open this, I guess we're going to find out. If I don't have a fucking podcast by the time I'm done reading all of this stuff, then I'll know. All right, let's just go straight into it, guys. First off, I give the Rumble a solid 3.5. If we're going to judge it 1 to 5. If it was 1 to 10, I'd say it was probably about a 6.2. A lot of unexpected things, a lot of expected things, a lot of things that I wish I could have, changed. I would change personally if I had the option. But let's talk about each match. First, Rollins versus Reigns. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am not a fan of Seth Rollins. But tonight, or the other night, today, as of right now, I'm okay with what he did. Coming out to the Shield music. I'm surprised they actually opened this up with the the Universal title match. But if you saw the pay-per-view, you'll understand why they did this. Yeah, I loved the Shield entrance. I thought it was great. The old Sierra Hotel India Echo Lima Delta Shield. That thing was fucking like that. I was like, wait a minute, why are they doing that? And then I realized, wow. And then here comes Seth with all of his Shield gear on, and I know it was just mind tricks and everything for Reigns. Seth was on fire. Seth, let me tell you something. He was all over the place. Had that match won a couple of times. And at first I was like, there's no way that they're going to have Seth Rollins, completely squash Roman. There's no way. And then I thought, well, maybe what if they do that, and then Roman enters the Rumble at number 30 and kills everyone, and then, he wins. But at the same time, I really wouldn't have expected them to do that, considering that Roman's held the belt for how long, and he's basically the owner of that title for now. The owner. And when I say the owner, I'm not saying the title holder. I'm saying I don't think anyone is taking that title off of him anytime soon, except for Lesnar at Mania. If they go with that. I love the Shield bomb. The power bomb through the fucking announce table. I thought that was great. And I like how they referenced Jon Moxley, too, when they were doing that. And then I noticed about halfway through the match, Seth goes for the frog splash. He hits the frog splash. He goes, he gets the 2 count. And then his adrenaline starts going. He goes up to the top rope, and I'm like, there's no way he's hitting a Phoenix splash. Rollins never hits the Phoenix splash. It's a great move. Don't get me wrong. Rollins never fucking hits it, So it's it's such a false hope move. But if you've been watching his matches long enough, he's never going to hit that move. I don't think I've ever seen him do it. Wait, maybe he did on Brock. No, I'm thinking of when he frog splashed Brock through the announce table and broke his ribs. And then Roman gets up and hits fucking Rollins with this crazy high power bomb. I mean, this thing had some force behind it. It was nuts. He backs up, goes in for the spear, and he's setting up and everything, does the ooh, ah type thing. He's running for the spear. That's fucking Rollins reverses it into a pedigree. And I'm like, damn, I haven't seen that in a while. He hadn't done that since he was in the Authority. Because he really never had a reason to when he was facing, Bray Wyatt and, all these other guys who don't have a spear in their arsenal. So I thought that was pretty cool. And it made me wonder because the crowd was getting behind Rollins, like, big time. I was like, fuck, is Seth a babyface now? Like, he's feeding onto the crowd, he's encouraging them, he's getting them to clap and everything. And I'm like, damn, like, I thought Seth was a heel. He didn't have Kevin Owens in his corner. So I'm like, maybe this is like a turn. Like maybe they're turning Seth babyface. And I saw that happening. Especially with the DQ finish, where Roman's choking out Seth. And Seth gets to the ropes, Roman refuses to let go, and you just see Seth fade. So I'm wondering, I'm like, damn, this has got to be a babyface turn. This has got to be. There's no other option. I did like the whole shades to the breaking up of the Shield, though. The spot where Roman, first off, Roman is now starting to talk to himself. He's got like little Jimmy. He's like, oh Jesus Christ! It's like Randy Orton. Do you guys remember when Randy Orton was he had that, what was it, IED, or OID, or whatever, explosive disorder or something like that, and he would talk to himself, like he would hear voice, like that's where the I hear voices in my head theme came from. It's kind of like Roman was showing early signs of like early Randy Orton when he was like leading Legacy and stuff. Back when he was like the mega heel, he was going against Cena, he had DiBiase and Rhodes in his corner. He was, and like the feud with Triple H, like around that era, so like, and I saw shades of that. I was like, that's fucking cool. Because he goes out, he takes the chair, and then he smacks he smacks Rollins, and I like how they both fall exactly the way that they did when the Shield broke up, only it was like the roles were reversed. But I the entire attack after the match, I'm thinking like, this has got to be a babyface turn for Seth Rollins. It was a good match. It was actually a really good match. And I mean, this is coming from somebody, I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins. I've been bored of him since right after he turned babyface and went after the Authority. I started getting bored of him there. Right, I would say before the whole feud with Wyatt. Because I'll admit, like, I liked Rollins at one point. I thought he was great. I thought he was energetic. I mean, he still is energetic. I'm not going to take away his athleticism, his ability to tell a story. I'm not going to take that away from him. I just personally am like, I don't know how I feel about him. So, good match overall, though. It was actually Roman's first loss, technically, since he came back at SummerSlam 2 years ago. And, yeah, even though it was a DQ loss and it didn't really count, it's still a loss. So, then we had the Women's Rumble. Now, this is the part where I was like, all right, should I keep track of who comes out, or should I just not care, just take notes about the match? And I was like, if I talk about things that aren't, that like people coming out and spots that happened and not mention the people who came out and caused them, I don't think it'd make any sense. So I made the list, like, as they were coming out, of everybody who came out, and, just thoughts that went through my head. Number one, Sasha's back. And I was like, oh, cool, this is nice. And then I realized, like, fucking Sasha, it seems like she's always, like, in the first or second spot of the Rumble. It seems like she's always, like, in the very front of the Rumble. She comes out. I like was it like was it Wonder Woman? Was it Captain, the female Captain America? Was it Moon Pie? Like, her attire, just like red, white, and blue, really colorful. Like, I don't know, I couldn't pick up what it reminded me of. But yeah, so Sasha's back. She comes out. Number two is Melina. I hadn't fucking seen her in a long time. I didn't even know she still wrestled. I guess she had a stint on Impact, but, it wasn't really for that long. And then she goes out, like, quick. Like, she's eliminated almost instantly. Within, like, a minute. And, it was cool because, like, I saw, like, you see Melina right before they lock up and everything. And Melina's crying, and like Sasha's trying so hard not to break character, and Melina's like, I could feel her emotion. Like shit, like that, that's a moment for her. And she gets thrown out. And Tamina comes out. Dominating. Let me tell you something. I was kind of hoping for Tamina to win. Alright, so my pick for the Rumble was Ronda Rousey because I saw on a Bleacher Report that she was going to be facing, she was a possible opponent for Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. So I'm like, all right, if that's the case, they're not going to bring that up for no reason. That means she's coming back at the Rumble and winning. So Ronda Rousey was my pick. I would have liked to see Liv Morgan. I would have loved to see Liv Morgan win, and I feel like she should have won. So Tamina comes out. And then Kelly's number 4, big whoop. I never really was impressed with her. She can never wrestle. I mean, she tried at one point. She was the Divas champion. She tried wrestling. I don't know. She never really, that was never it was never impressive to me. Then this girl, Aliyah, who, is that Rey Mysterio's daughter? Like, legit, I don't know who this is. Apparently, she said that she pinned Natalya in, like, 3 seconds or something like that. Well, and then I realized that everybody, it's 3 seconds. It's a pin. And then, like, I had to Google this girl, and apparently, no, she legitimately beat somebody from bell to bell in 3 seconds. So, I guess. Then Liv Morgan, I'm like, fuck yeah, Liv Morgan. And she comes out, and, she's going after everyone. Zelina comes out. Zelina, what the fuck is her name? Zelina Vega? Alistair, or fucking Malachi Black's girlfriend. And then they throw out Sasha Banks. And then I noticed, I noticed that the crowd, and if somebody's listening to this who knows why, the crowd popped, like, loud really quick. And then booed really quick. And it looked like they were looking up at the screens. And I don't know if they flashed something. I don't know if they made a mistake on the Jumbotron. Because I remember when Undertaker lost at WrestleMania, apparently they were not supposed to do that. It wasn't supposed to happen. So they had the 21-0 or the 22-0 sign go up, and then it flashed white. And then the 21-0 sign, or 21-1 sign came up. So I don't know. Maybe it was something. Maybe they flashed something. I don't know. They never showed it. They never addressed it. Then Bianca comes out. Bianca Belair. Another one I hate to say I'm not really that impressed with. Dana Brooke comes out, and she does not look like Dana Brooke anymore. It looks like she's a whole completely different person. I understand she lost weight, built muscle, but it's like her face. Did she get plastic surgery? I'm not sure. Michelle McCool's number 10. Let me tell you, the crowd pop was great for her, and she could still fucking wrestle. I could guarantee you she can go toe-to-toe with anybody today. I would love to see her in a feud with Charlotte, and just have her completely beat the fuck out of Charlotte. Sonia Deville is number 11. She goes to commentary, and I was also taking notes, like, at the very bottom of my list, but I'll get to that in a second, because I do have something about Sonya. First off, Sonya, I don't understand why she stopped wrestling, but I feel like she needs to wrestle more, because she's still very young, and she's got that MMA background, and she could be really good, and needs to be a champion. Natalya comes out. Cameron, I was like, what the fuck? Cameron from the Funkadactyls? And then Naomi comes out. All right, so at this point, I want to just say something. I like how Cameron comes out, and here's Sonia Deville on commentary and has no idea who Cameron is, all right? So, Cameron's in the ring, and at one point you hear Sonia going, oh, wait, Cameron's a friend of Naomi's, so if something happens to her in the Rumble, Naomi would be mad? And they're like, yeah. And she goes, all right, bet. And she takes off her jacket, goes in, and eliminates fucking Cameron. And then out comes Naomi. And Naomi eliminates Sonya Deville. And I saw the slip. Just saying. They didn't catch that on TV, but I did. And I was like, wait a minute. Anyway. Then out comes Carmella, another one I've never been impressed with. I thought she was great when she was with Enzo and Cass, but that's when she was great. Otherwise, I'm not impressed. Ria Ripley. Ria Ripley, I swear, needs to be on top of the world right now. She's good. She's flexible. She's strong. She's got a great character. She can tell a good story. She sells great. I feel like she needs to be, like, up there, like, with fucking the 4 horsewomen who WWE bases their entire women's division around. Charlotte. Not impressed with her. I don't like Charlotte. I never did. And the only thing that I realized when Charlotte came out, yeah, she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. I said there is potential to see the WWE Women's Champion and the Impact Knockouts Champion fight each other. Because I was like, wait a minute, Mickie James is in this, and I know that she's the Impact Knockouts Champion. And that's another thing. I was like, I wonder if they're going to, like, you know, let her hold her belt, you know, or if she's just going to come out to the, you know, to the typical clapping music, and she's going to skip out to the ring in her WWE gear. Maybe she was going to come out with a trash bag. I thought that would have been funny. So Charlotte comes out, you know, she starts doing her thing, you know, fucking, I'm just not impressed with her. And then I hear the fucking sirens, and I'm like, what the fuck is Scott Steiner doing in the Women's Rumble? And then I realized it was Ivory. Bro, Ivory fucking right to censor. The ultimate Karen. I was like, holy shit, she actually did this. She's only in the Rumble for like 2 seconds and Charlotte eliminates her. But she's bitching and complaining about censorship and, you know, real women and, you know, you're all embarrassments. And I'm like, this is awesome. So she gets eliminated. And then the next one was Brie Bella. And I groaned out loud. I've never, ever, ever liked the Bella twins. And I feel like the WWE Hall of Fame went down in prestige when they put the Bella twins in the Hall of Fame. They have no reason being there. They were never good. Brie Bella had no business holding on to that title. Nikki Bella had no business holding on to the title as long as she did. They only had her do it because CM Punk split and they wanted her to beat AJ's record because AJ is CM Punk's wife. So, yeah. Then Mickie James comes out to Hardcore Country, her Impact theme. And she comes out with her Impact title, and she holds that title up right before she gets in the ring, and that crowd pops, man. That crowd was loud. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, this is it. The Forbidden Door has officially been opened. WWE's working with another company. This is great. Because I would have never imagined an Impact Wrestling, a TNA Wrestling wrestler in a WWE ring while they're still under contract. Now, I had to say while they're still under contract because I lost my shit when AJ Styles debuted at the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. Granted, I know his contract with them was up, but still, it was the one guy you would have never expected to see in it in WWE, and there he is. Him and Sting, but we don't like to talk about Sting. Let's see, who was next? Alicia Fox, all right. Nikki Ash, almost a superhero. And you know what? There was something that passed through my head that ended up happening, and I'll talk about it in a second, all right? At this point, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you know what? Liv Morgan needs to win this Rumble, but I know she's not. I know it's going to be Ronda Rousey. Summer Rae comes out. Nikki Bella, another audible sigh. That's what I put down. I'm like, why? Why are they here? She dated John Cena. Okay. Big fucking whoop. Sarah Logan from the Riot Squad. There's one that I was not expecting at all. Sarah Logan. I was like, holy shit. And she looks good. Girl just had a kid a year ago. She looks fucking great, and she still can move in that ring, man. Let me tell you something. She's still got it. And I have a feeling that she might be doing another run with WWE, I think. Lita, absolutely fuck yes. I grew up in the Attitude Era. Lita was one of my first wrestling crushes, and she still fucking got it. And she went up for that fucking moonsault, and I marked the fuck out, man. I was so happy. Mighty Molly. Now, this is the part where I was thinking about with Nikki ASH. They finally went at it. Nikki ASH versus Mighty Molly. Clash of the Superheroes. And that didn't really end well for Mighty Molly. Number 28, Ronda Rousey. I knew she was going to win. Shotzi Blackheart comes out. Okay. And then Shayna Baszler, number 30. And I thought we were going to see an alliance between Baszler and Rousey. And it turns out that fucking Charlotte ruined that. And the last two end up being Charlotte and Ronda. And Charlotte gets thrown over. Ronda ends up winning. She points to the WrestleMania sign. It goes and does its fireworks. And then it catches on fire. Which answers a question that I had during the Becky match. Let's talk about this Rumble really quick. Here's my notes. I will never understand Rumble logic. Why are you going to stop somebody from eliminating somebody else? This is one thing that I've never understood. An elimination is an elimination. I can't tell you how many times I saw somebody almost eliminated, dangling off the apron, holding onto the rope. Somebody's trying to get them, to break loose, and then somebody else comes over and attacks the person trying to eliminate the person that's going over. That would be like breaking up a pin in an elimination match. What the fuck is wrong with you? Then my other note was I like how Sonia didn't know that Cameron was friends with Naomi and then entered the Rumble solely to eliminate her. I thought that was funny. Natalya gets eliminated twice. She went back into the ring and she got eliminated twice. I'm genuinely sick of Charlotte Flair. She needs to go. She needs to just go back down. Just stop. She needs to go away. Babyface or heel, I don't care. I've never been a fan of her and never will be. The one thing I did like, though, Charlotte eliminates Belair and Baszler, okay, at the same time. Laughing at them as they go over, and then her demeanor suddenly changes. She realizes that the only one left in that ring is Ronda Rousey. And then Ronda Rousey ends up winning. So, Rumble, it was a good Rumble. I'd say I'd give it maybe between 1 and 10. I'd give it a 5.7. Doudrop and Becky. First off, Doudrop is a stupid fucking name. All right. I liked Viper. Dude, Viper Niven. Back when she was with ICW and all the, what was it? What was the other one she was with? Evolve? Was she with Evolve? I know she had been in Gorilla at one point, but was she ever with Evolve? I know she was with ICW too. Anyway, I'm watching. This is the first actual match I've seen with Doudrop, Viper Niven, Piper Niven, whatever the fuck you want to call her. She's damn good. All right, she's damn good. Now, Becky, I used to be the biggest fanboy of Becky. All right? I used to be the biggest mark of Becky, especially in that time where everybody wanted her, and they pushed her, and then they fucked up, and then they turned her heel, and then the man thing happened, and then when she was the man, it's like, fuck yeah. And then they overpushed her, and everybody got sick of the man, and now here we are. And it could have been different. She left WWE on good terms as women's champion. Well, no, she didn't leave as women's champion. That's right. Asuka won the title, and she didn't know it during Money in the Bank. But Becky, I just feel like she's not being booked right. She could be booked so much better and have such better reactions, and people won't be sick of her. But I also do like how she let Doudrop get her with, the majority of the match. And is it just me, or does Doudrop remind me of Bam Bigelow? Bam Bigelow used to, for those of you who don't know who Bam Bam was, first off, turn this off and go watch fucking Bam Bigelow, you fucking disgrace. But Bam Bam was a 400-pound guy who used to do moonsaults and high-flying moves. He was strong, he was fast, and he was just... Him and Taz, dude. Him and Taz had some of the best matches. Him and everybody. Bam Bam really never had a bad match. But he unfortunately passed away. But Doudrop reminds me a lot of him because she's fast. Because, she could do the quick moves. She could do the high-flying stuff. She could, she's quick to do maneuvers and stuff. And it reminds me of Bam Bam's wrestling style. And then the top rope finish was great. The manhandle slam, the rock bottom off of the middle and top rope. That was pretty good for Becky to get the win. Thought she was going to make Doudrop tap with a disarmer, but Doudrop fought out of it, which I thought was great. And then the thing that made me wonder, because I started noticing everybody starts looking towards the back of the stadium. That's when I guess when the sign, the WrestleMania sign, people noticed it caught on fire, and I guess parts were like melting and falling on people in that section. So they cleared the section out, lowered the WrestleMania sign, put it out, and then raised it back up. So I had no idea what was going on there. So, next match, Brock versus Bobby. The match that we had been waiting 20 fucking years to see. The first thing I'm seeing when I see this promo that they did, like, wow. First off, this has got the potential to be like a bloodbath. We can see that beat the shit out of each other. Second off, fucking finally, it's about time these guys had a match together. It had been teased in UFC, it had been teased in Bellator, it had been teased in WWE, but it never happened. Especially when Brock Lesnar was in his top in UFC, when Bobby Lashley was doing that thing with Bellator and TNA. I thought they were gonna fight, and they didn't. And that pre-match package, dude, the fucking like lineage and everything, like their past and their wrestling records and their MMA records. I was like, let's go. And the crowd goes insane for this match. Like during the entrances, it was great. Paul Heyman, which we're going to talk about him in a little bit. Paul Heyman is a national treasure. Paul Heyman can put over anything. If you put a tarantula in the ring, Paul Heyman will make you cheer that tarantula. And I hate spiders. Okay? Paul Heyman can put over traffic. That's how fucking good he is, all right? Comes out there, he gets that crowd going, man. I mean, he is insane. But then again, MVP is not too far behind. MVP could cut a promo. He's a great manager. He's a great manager. Lashley ends up suplexing Brock in the beginning of the match. Brock hits him with a suplex, German suplex from behind. Lashley gets off, shakes it off like it's nothing. And then hits Brock with a fucking suplex. And then the match started to go downhill a little bit, if you ask me. It started to end up being like Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg at WrestleMania 20. It was just grappling back and forth. Wasn't a lot of big things. And then I started realizing why for the longest time I never liked Brock Lesnar. Because, you could turn him babyface, get him going with the crowd and everything. All he does is come out and suplex people. That's all his moveset is. It's boring after a while. So after all these suplexes and the spear from fucking Lashley and, all that stuff. And the missed spear through the barricade, which Bobby Lashley just gets up and fucking shakes off again. Here comes fucking Roman. Roman Reigns spears fucking Lesnar. And then he goes over to the corner where Heyman is holding the WWE title. He hands out his hand like, give me that. And Heyman turns on fucking Brock. I'm sitting there going, dude, come on. They just did this for 3 months. I thought we had it. But that basically set up WrestleMania. I knew off the bat that Brock was going to be facing Roman at WrestleMania. It had been in the talks for fucking weeks. And Brock's going to be going in as the babyface, and Roman's going to be going in as the heel. Like I said a couple of podcasts ago, this is how they should have booked WrestleMania 31, and they wouldn't have had to have Seth come out and cash in. And then fucking here comes Bobby Lashley, hits Brock with a spear and pins Brock. 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. New champion. The match was all right at most. I was really hyped for it in the beginning, and then when I saw what happened with Roman, I was like, okay. With that being said, now here comes the part of the match, or the part of the show where I ended up going to the bathroom and getting snacks and stuff. I wasn't really that interested. Edge and Beth versus Miz and Maurice. Now, I've always been an Edge head. I've always loved watching Edge's entrance. He's the master manipulator. He's the ultimate opportunist. I love Edge. Miz, I like Miz. I like Miz. It would have been a great one-on-one match to end their feud. Didn't really have to get Beth and Maurice in there, even though Maurice can still wrestle and Beth can still wrestle. I really hope that this is it for the feud. That's all I'm saying. Edge comes out. He gets a pop just like he got at the fucking Rumble 2 years ago, dude. He still gets that massive pop. And then out comes Beth, and I noticed, I'm like, Beth looks familiar. And then I realized, shit, she's paying tribute to Luna Vachon. That's fucking great. And then the match goes, it's back and forth. They're tagging each other in and out and everything. And here comes Maurice with a purse and knocks Beth with a purse. I'm like, a purse? Unless it's got something hard in it, like a brick or like a fucking, steel plate. That ain't impressive. It's not convincing. Maurice's Hurricanrana on Edge was not bad at all. I actually thought that was pretty. That got a pop out of me. I was like, holy shit, that looked pretty cool. The double spear was not bad on Miz. Now, this is going towards the end of the match. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention to this too much. And then I thought that the double spear was going to be it, but then they both decided to do a glam slam to Miz and Maurice to win the match, get the double pinfall. So, match was like, I wasn't really that invested in it. You know what I mean? Especially considering, this feud could have happened 12 years ago. When it would have made sense. But now that, I guess it wouldn't have made sense because now they're all married and beforehand they weren't. But, it's all right. Now here is the Men's Rumble. I don't really know how to feel about this. I don't know how to feel about this because the guy that I wanted to win didn't win, but the guy I was not expecting to win won. So I was unhappy, but I was happy at the end. And I also wasn't really impressed. There were almost no surprises. They announced 25 guys before the Rumble started. So I was like, all right, this is just going to be regular roster guys and maybe like an NXT 2.0 guy or somebody like that, My pick was AJ Styles. Of course, who the fuck comes out first? Next comes out Shinsuke. Good revamping of the feud from WrestleMania 32? No, 34. And of course, you gotta love Pat McAfee jumping on the desk and dancing to Shinsuke's music. Austin Theory comes out as number 3. This guy is absolutely boring to me. I don't understand him. I don't like him. He does nothing. Does nothing for me at all. Bobby Roode comes out, and at this point he goes face to face with AJ Styles, and we start hearing TNA chants. I was like, "Fuck yeah, this is cool." Like this is a feud I like to see. TNA, got WWE. You have everything except for the rights to the fucking video, the TNA video library. You might as well start rehashing some old TNA feuds. I think it'd be interesting. I would love to see Bobby Roode. Actually, you could put Bobby Lashley in there too. I'd like to see Bobby Roode versus AJ Styles. I guess they got rid of Samoa Joe again, so you can't do that. I would like to see Bobby Roode and AJ Styles in a feud. I think that'd be cool. Maybe bring Xavier in there as his old Austin Creed persona. Ridge Holland, no idea who the guy is. Montez Ford, I think he's great. One of the best frog splashes in the business. Damian Priest comes out, number 7. I'm like, all right. Then there was this one chick. You notice that one chick who was in the corner, over on the corner of the barricade with the fucking sign that said, "Marry me, Damian, and no, I'm not going to shut up about it." And she literally did not shut up about it. I guess security had to come out there and get her out of there because she was distracting everyone. Sami Zayn. And then I realized something with Sami Zayn. All right, hear me out. And maybe I'll talk about this in another podcast. I think Jesse the Body Ventura should be Sami Zayn's manager. Strictly for the conspiracy stuff. Have Sami Zayn finally get down to the bottom of all these conspiracies against him in the WWE, and then he's like, you know what, I had to call in an expert on all of this, and next thing you know, here's Jesse the Body Ventura, and have that play out. Put him in a decent feud. Johnny Knoxville comes in number 9. I was like, okay, this is going to end really quickly. And then I realized something. Didn't Johnny Knoxville just say on Howard Stern that he was not supposed to be taking headshots anymore? And what does he do? He takes a whole fucking slap combo from AJ Styles and gets knocked on his head. And then he gets the haluva kick right to the head from Sami Zayn to eliminate him. Angelo Dawkins. I did not realize how big Angelo Dawkins was. I thought he was 6'3". He's 6'7". But speaking of giants, number 11, here comes Amos. Dude, all right. For fans out there who didn't watch wrestling back in the 80s. Now, I was born 1993, but I grew up with wrestling and everything. And I remember watching Saturday Night Main Event. All of these, wrestling shows in your house and all that stuff. So my father was an avid wrestling fan. He had videotapes, and we used to have tapings of old WrestleManias and Survivor Series and all that. So I remember watching Andre, okay? Amos and Andre the Giant are the same size. Just to give you an idea of how fucking gigantic Andre the Giant was. Amos is the same height as Andre. Before his back, actually, no, I think after his back problems, he was still 7'4", because he towered over Hogan. Andre at his peak was 7'6", and he weighed 550 pounds, all right? So he was a tad bit taller than Amos, and about twice as wide as Amos, all right? That just goes to show you how massive of a human being Andre the Giant was. He was literally a giant. Amos, though, has the potential to be the next Andre the Giant. He is fucking enormous. And he could move. And he's got a little bit of a personality. And then I noticed he was wearing black Air Forces, and I'm like, oh, all right, there goes the well-being of everybody in that ring. So, and then here comes Ricochet. Ricochet's always fun to watch. 13 was Chad Gable, and I saw when Chad Gable came out, there was a sign that came up in the audience that said, Gable can't spell. And I was like, that's hysterical, but it was Otis who misspelled the word. For those of you who don't know, the Raw before the Rumble, I guess they had a spelling bee, and Otis legitimately spelled the word wrong. But they're trying to play him off as a scholar and a college graduate and an all-star wrestler and all that. So they're trying to make him smarter as opposed to that fucking Canadian redneck bulldozer guy he was. So, but then again, I always said that was a prime example of what Vince McMahon really thought of Southerners was Otis's redneck character. So, and then I found out too, Vince McMahon's mother just passed away. So, I send my condolences. He'll never see this, but it's nice to send your condolences to somebody who lost a family member. Dominic Mysterio, I'm not really too sold on him. Happy Corbin, not too sold on him. He's going to be Mad Corbin once again because Kansas City lost. Mr. Ziggles, Dolph Ziggler comes out, number 16. Number 17 is Sheamus, so they're just going through the roster at this point. 18 is Boogs, and I noticed, I'm like, oh, I like the Freddie Mercury haircut, the mustache and the slick back hair. He did get his hair cut. Dude's pretty strong. I didn't realize he's fucking strong. And then Madcap Moss is coming out next, number 19, and then that's when AJ Styles was eliminated, and I was like, fuck. Now who's going to come out? At this point, I didn't know who to pick. And I also realized, you know what? Fuck. There's no surprises yet. So then I realized at that point, because this is I had a whole bunch of realizations at one point, I guess. It's like, what, Randy's in the Rumble. This is his hometown. I'm going to go for Randy. They're not going to let him lose in his hometown. And he'd be tying Austin for 3 wins. That would be, yeah. Here comes Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle gets good pop. I want to know how he does that fucking thing with his slippers, okay? Or sandals or whatever the fuck. That's pretty cool. And he gets it, can you imagine if he does that wrong and he beams somebody in the face? That'd be funny. And do the fans get to keep his slippers? That's one thing I've always noticed. So there's two things that I've always wondered what happens to. The Rock's elbow pads, when he goes for the people's elbow, he throws them out to the crowd. I wonder if anybody still has one of those. And two was Triple H's water bottle, because you never see anybody, they never show who catches it. So I wonder if somebody like catches Riddle's slippers and keeps them. Drew McIntyre comes out. Okay. I guess he was injured. I don't think it was a true injury. I think it was a storyline injury. But then again, when was the last time I really paid attention to WWE storylines? Because they suck lately. Kevin Owens comes out. Okay. Kofi Kingston. Here's the first thing I think is, wow, all right, finally, we're going to see something cool during the Rumble. Jumps onto the top rope. Owens pushes him off of the top rope, and he jumps over to the barricade, and his feet touch the floor before he quickly puts them back up onto the barricade. I think he was trying to do what Morrison did a couple years ago in the Rumble, when he jumped onto the barricade and jumped back onto the steel steps. I think maybe that's what they were trying to go for. At the same time, Big E came out 2 people later, because it was Otis and then Big E. But I noticed, Kofi, first off, how Kofi didn't break his fucking ribs on that barricade is beyond me, because he had to have fallen from at least 10 feet. Okay? But he botched that spot. I don't think that was supposed to happen like that. Here comes Otis, and then I see the Gable can't spell sign again, and I just fucking lost it. Here comes Big E. And at this point, I'm like, God damn it, we need a surprise, man. There's no surprises. Who's next? Bad Bunny. And I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go, Bad Bunny. Because let me tell you something. Bad Bunny impressed the hell out of me during WrestleMania last year. I was like, dude, he can wrestle. You can do spots. He takes bumps. He's not like this typical celebrity, guest where they just come in and stand in the corner and they get this one big spot. Dude, Bad Bunny, the dude took the time to learn how to do a Canadian destroyer. I was like, holy shit. So yeah, there's Bad Bunny. And he had the encounter. We'll get to that. Number 28, here comes Shane O'Mac. Everybody cheers and then realizes that it's Shane and then starts booing. And I guess there's a lot of heat with Shane right now because of that. Number 29, Randy Orton, and that building goes absolutely fucking insane. Here comes Randy Orton, the hometown hero, number 29. He's got a great number. Comes in, RKOs everybody. It was great. Number 30, Brock Lesnar. Huh? Brock Lesnar. What the hell? And then I realized, oh, he lost his title. He's going to probably win the Rumble now. And that's what they did. I do like, though, how Brock gave Bad Bunny an F5 and Bad Bunny sold the fuck out of it. Okay? So Brock wins the Royal Rumble. Throws everybody out. There you go. Here's the thing, though. And this is why I'm saying that I'm kind of happy about this. Even though, and I know that after, on Raw, he said he was going for Roman. But they could have set up Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley, too. Because there were 2 possible storylines that could have happened. He could have either gotten his title back, or he could go after Roman and take Roman's title. But now I guess they put him in the Elimination Chamber, and Bobby Lashley's defending the title in the Chamber, and Brock wants a title versus title match, and I think they're going to unify the belts at Mania. So I think Brock Lesnar's going to win the WWE title at Elimination Chamber in Saudi Arabia, and he's going to go on and take Roman's title. Either that or Roman wins and he has both titles and they unify him. I don't know. So, my overall thought on the Rumble, if I had to grade it between 1 and 5, I would say it was a 3.5 at most. A lot of great things happened, a lot of shitty things happened. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast today, guys. That's what I'm going to be talking about is the Royal Rumble. My next podcast, hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be recording on Thursday because today is Tuesday. I'll be recording another one on Thursday. And I'm thinking about doing 2 podcasts a week. I'm thinking my Tuesday podcast should be talking about wrestling. My Thursday podcast should be talking about whatever. I'm hoping to have Rich DiCarlo on again. If not, I might have my friend Greg Dwyer come on. Not sure. I got to confirm it with him. So, also, I hope you guys like the new graphic that I've got for the podcast as well. And you can listen to me on Greg Dwyer's podcast by going to buildingfortunesradio.com. You'll see the Diamond Mine podcast on there. You can go and check me out. So, but guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked the podcast, and I hope you guys tune in again. I'm Chris Langle with Chris Langle Magic. I'll talk to you guys later.